Hello and welcome to this coaching call number 49. In this coaching call, we will be doing the revision of principally chapter number 8. But as we have some colleagues who are fully prepared, just to give them the complete overview, I will try it in this 1.5 hour. We will only focus on the theoretical part today. Just for the concepts point of view, we will not solve the questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But my aim in this class is to have the complete overview and the revision of critical program activity that we have done so far. Okay. So starting with the complete overview of program management, always remember in mind the program boundaries which are on the left side and on the right side. As long as you are outside of the red boundary, you are at the organization level. Once you will cross this right side boundary, you will also be at the organization level. Okay. So whenever you go for the exam point of view, exam day, the first step that you have to make is to write the performance domains. What are the performance domains of the program management? Write number one, program lifecycle, program strategic alignment, program benefits management, program governance, and program stakeholder engagement. This you have to actually write. You will get one sheet. Okay, this is a revision. Go there and write these 5 domains. Then second step is to write the phases of your program definition phase, program delivery phase, and the program closure phase. The key point is that on the exam, sometimes you get so strong question that we forget even that we are attending the PgMP exam or where we are sitting. Okay, so it's always good to have everything in front of your document. Just write this complete phases, and also when you are solving all the questions in the mocks also, just keep this figure in your mind. Okay, that we are in the program definition phase. Under this you will have the program formulation subphase and the program planning subphase, in which we have 10 activities in the program formulation subphase that we are doing, and these are assessments and estimates. Okay, in the program planning subphase, I am doing management planning activities which are 10. I am doing cost estimation, and I am making the financial framework. That is in the planning subphase. You are doing 12 activities. So in the question, he can ask you either program formulation subphase, then you have to give the answer of out of 10 activities. If he asks you about program definition phase over as a combined package, then in that 22 activities can be covered. Okay, if we say that in which phase you will do the program management planning, and the option doesn't say you planning surface or formulation surface, then in that case program definition phase will be the correct answer. So just we have to keep in mind definition phase has 22 activities, and if we go down, planning formulation surface has 10 and planning has 10 activities, 12 activities. Then in the program delivery phase, whenever the question comes about the components, it means that we are working in my program delivery phase. The complete life cycle of every component, starting from authorization, initiating, doing oversight and integration, transition and closure, is under my program delivery phase. Very important concept. Always keep in mind in your sheet that you will write, please write components is equal to program delivery phase. This line you should write on your sheet. Okay. First you write the domains, then you write the 3 phases, then you write component is equal to program delivery phase. So whenever you will see the word of the component, your first image should go to the program delivery phase. And unless all the components are not closed, are not delivered, I cannot close my program delivery phase. Okay, and once my delivery phase is closed, then I will go to my program closure phase, in which I am closing at the program level, and there is no talk about any component in the program closure phase. And then once I am crossing the program boundary, can only be crossed once the program has been fully closed. So whenever he will tell you that you are doing the planning thing, whether you can close the program or not close the till you are in the discussion phase or the asking phase, it means you are under the program closure phase, still within the program boundary. This is very important to understand in all the questions point of view, whether we are outside of the program boundary or we are within the program boundary. Like a very good example, today we had the discussion on the our premium group, in which we were talking about business case of the benefits management plan. And then we saw that once there was the selection committee involved, it means we are still at the organization level here. So in that case, the first document in which we will have the brief overview is the program business case, because business case is my first interface document between the organization level and the program level. So whenever he will talk to you about any document which will provide you the justification, why the program is being initiated. When you are discussing with the organization level people, can be your sponsor, okay, your high level board management, which program shall I adopt, which program shall I choose, the answer will be the business case. It will provide you the justification of the document, it will provide you the a strategic alignment with your objectives, okay, it will provide you the cost benefit analysis, it will provide you key assumptions, risk, and everything like that. This we have covered in our key activities of the business case: economic feasibility, justification, success criteria, alternative solutions. That is a perfect example of when we are making the selection. Alternative solution will be in the business case, which what we are going to start. Formal declaration and the strategic alignment is initiated in the program business case. So this business case will have at least is one of the keywords in the exam whenever it comes to the program business case. After this, we go to make the program charter. Whenever you have to make a charter, the program business case will be available with you. This always we have to keep in our back mind. Now I'm going to the next step. So I will be making a program charter. In this, the keyword is authorization, in which we are authorizing the program manager, program management team, in able to use all the resources for my program. And then in the charter, it authorizes the team, it defines the program scope. Now this is very important. Once we saw in chapter number 8, you remember we had the program scope assessment, and program scope assessment only affected by program charter and not the business case. Everybody remember this magic grid. So that is a clear example of best explanation why this charter has the program scope and business case did not have the program scope. So whenever I will do the assessments, it can go as it will go as an input to the only the charter, not the business case. That is my only document in chapter number 8 activities in the formulation surface, in which program charter is affected and not the business case. So charter will have the program scope, it will have key stakeholders, success factors, high level benefits, and how you are going to measure your success. So whenever the questions of the success criteria, metrics, anything will come, there will be the program charter. But scope is only linked to the program charter. Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
Sorry. This success factor will be program charter, right? And success criteria will be business case.
Yes. Remember, C is business case, nearby word, and F is charter. Success factor is charter, and success criteria is this. But if you're talking about the metrics or how you will measure the success, anything about the success, definition of success, that is in your charter. Okay. So it's the only the criteria is in the business case. Other detailed explanation about the benefit, the success are in the charter. Okay. And then when we go further to make the program roadmap, the keyword is high level objectives, high level overview, that will tell you when you are going to do some activities. So whenever this type of concept is coming up, when the benefits will be delivered, at which moment the component one will deliver the program, the benefits, that is in the program roadmap. Important thing to keep roadmap in that business case and the charter should already be there. Okay. And the program roadmap is affected only by the schedule assessment and initial risk assessment. This we studied in chapter number 8. Why schedule? Because roadmap is the superset of the schedule, of the master schedule. So whenever you are doing schedule assessments, schedule is actually time when something is to be done. It will affect my roadmap. Remember in chapter number 8, when we made the program formulation surface activities, the third key point was roadmap is affected only by schedule assessments and initial risk assessments. Okay. So this also proves here that the roadmap is affected by the schedule assessments. And then the keywords of roadmap are chronological representation, graphically depicting, linking. Linking is the most important word. Charter business case is not telling you anything about the linking. And linkage actually means when you are going to do this thing and when I'm going to do the other activity. Reflects the pace at which benefits are realized. Program progress towards achieving the benefits, when he will talk to you only about what is the program progress, then it is a benefit register is answered, like we have discussed about the progress of the my program. But whenever he will say you about assessment of the program thing. Assessment actually means when I will give the thing, or overarching plan when you will deliver the benefits, or when we have to give the estimation to our stakeholders that what is the my program progress. So whenever we have to tell the plan, or when I will achieve something, that will be the program roadmap. But only in case if it is only asking you about only program progress, that's all, then the benefit register will be the answer, as we have discussed in the eco or benefit management domain. Document the represent the program progress by updating the benefit register. Okay, so in the roadmap, linking phase, concept of when, and provides a visual of when ROI will be delivered. So whenever the concept of visualization will come, there will be in the your program roadmap. Okay, and we are doing making these three documents, keeping in view our environmental assessments and program risk management strategy. In the risk management strategy, as we were just discussing before, important documents are risk register and the risk management plan. Whenever he will ask you about, you have to document the threats, opportunities, or the risks directly. Whenever you are analyzing the risk, and the analysis means qualitative analysis or qualitative analysis, which means you are evaluating the criteria of the risk. For example, the situation says the stakeholder told you that this is a issue, this is a risk that can affect your program. You will document in the risk register, then you will analyze it. Analyzation means whether it is worth spending the time on the risk or not. So when you will analyze the risk, again, output will be updated risk register. Nothing talking about the risk management plan at this moment. Okay, and then in the next step, once all the risks have been identified, have been analyzed, then I will go to the risk response planning, or more specifically known as making the risk management plan. In that case, I will document, okay, how I am going to treat with my risks, or when some risk will occur, what will be my risk response strategy. Yes, Jayaprakash.
So I have one question actually.
Yes.
After the risk identification, so we are after the risk identification, we are documenting the risk in the risk register,
Yes.
and then we are analyzing, and we are creating risk response.
Yes.
So these all items are documented in the risk register only, right?
Yes.
Even analyzing and we are making response to the risk. These items also documented in risk register, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what is the role of risk management plan? Okay, we know it is how.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain a little bit regarding that
Okay,
plan?
okay, okay. So can you see my screen? Now I switched over to chapter number 8. In the risk monitoring and controlling chapter, we are talking about program risk identification. Okay, in the risk identification, the output I am getting is updates to the program risk register or the program risk register itself. It means I am identifying the risk and documenting the risk. Is this step clear, Jayaprakash? Whenever only you identify the risk, this is only the risk register. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Then second step is program risk analysis. The output here I get is proposed risk responses. Okay, this is doing the analysis. Then I have program updates to program risk register and risk reports showing threats and opportunity threats. Threats. At this moment, till analysis, the risk management plan is not here. Only I am proposing the risk. Okay, maybe like this or that. Okay. Then in the third step, I am doing program risk response management. Here I am making the risk response management plan. What is the output here? Directions to implement risk responses. So here the keyword is directions to implement. Now I am telling you direction in English. If I translate, it means I will direct you how you will manage the implement the risk response that is already in the risk register.
Mm.
Clear?
Okay.
Directions. And
Yeah.
then I will get program risk register updates, change request, contingency reserve, and management reserve. This is the other thing. So also, Pradeep, here proposed risk responses is still part of the risk register. I'm doing the analysis. And just remember the keyword of direction. So here, when I'm going to give the direction, then it will be the response management plan will come in this thing. And another important thing that we covered in eco, any type of the risk will be managed or handled as per the risk management plan. So it means that whenever the risk will occur, I will manage this as per the risk management plan. It's nothing to do how I document, where I document it. Then that answer is management plan. And same, any type of the change will be managed as per the change management plan. So here the keyword is management, how you will manage the risk, or the directions how you will implement the risk response. That is to, given by the risk management plan. Other everything, whatever you are working on the risk, evaluating, analyzing is in the risk register. Clear to everyone? Any question in the risk in this at this moment?
Yeah, it means a risk management plan is how we are going to implement the risk response. That's all. Risk
Yes,
management plan.
yes,
Indirectly meaning directing. How?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Directing.
Risk identification, risk analysis, risk evaluation, and risk response. Everything documented in the risk register. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Mr. Pradeep.
So you are saying in risk management, we are saying risk has happened. Now take the next step, right?
Yes, directions how to implement the risk response. You will only implement that risk response once something will occur. That is all in the
So
planning
risk
phase.
register is kind of theory of what can happen, right?
Yes,
It's not happened yet.
yes, that is the risk register.
Okay.
Clear to everyone? Nasir sir, Mr. Azim, is it clear? Very important because this will be disturbing
Yes.
you. Okay, Nasir sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
excellent.
Clear.
Very good. So this is the strategic alignment domain. So whenever you go in the strategic alignment domain, write this keywords, business case, charted the roadmap on your sheet. I'm talking about the first sheet that you will make in the exam. You will get 10, everybody will get 10 or to 15 minutes. Once you go to the exam center, he will ask you to get the tutorial, how you will use the computer. Okay. So you utilize that time to make this cheat sheet. You will get one paper or one erasable board they give with a pen. Write these domains, phases, and strategic alignment domain. Write business case equal to justification, charter authorization, roadmap, pace, and linkages, and the risk register, and the risk management plan. So this should be your this should be already written on your sheet in the first 5 minutes of your going to the exam center. Okay, good. Then we go to the program benefits management. Here, first step is doing the benefits identification and making the benefits register. Important thing to understand here is that I am still under the program formulation surface. Okay, so under the life cycle, I am in the benefits identification phase. I am making the benefit register, and then in the next step, I will be making the benefit analysis and planning, where is the benefits management plan. A lot of questions will are confused between the register and the plan. And last week I gave you a thing that whenever you document something, making the register, benefit register, you don't need any approval. Okay, register, risk register, stakeholder register, risk register, benefit register, these three registers. This is for the exam point of view, from the conceptual point. Whenever you identify any benefit, put in the benefit register without asking from anyone. Whenever you identify any stakeholder, put in the stakeholder register. You don't need to ask anyone, can I put in the register, stakeholder register or not. But the next step, when it comes to the plan, then you need the approval of the governance board. Then there will be certain change. Okay, or I will make a develop a program management plan which will have constitute subsequent plans. Before implementing it to you or to you start to use it, I should get it approved. This is also in our daily project life also. Whenever I make a plan, like health and safety plan, operation and maintenance plan, training plan, I have to get approval from the employer, right? This is also in our daily life. I cannot make a plan by myself and do whatever I want. I need to get the approval from the high ups, even from my organization or from the client. So that is the point of the plan. So in any question, whenever you are getting, first step is to use elimination technique. At least two options you can easily eliminate. Okay, that is the first step. Then the remaining two things, if it is confusing you between a plan and the register, try to think in that perspective, whether this what is happening here, can I do by myself or I need certain approval. If I can do it by myself, 50%, more than 80%, you are going towards the register side. Okay, and if it giving you tone, you need to get approval from someone, you need to ask someone prior to taking action on that. That will be the plan. Okay, that is a very important trick to differentiate between a register or a plan. Then when I look into the benefit register here, It collects and lists the planned benefits are here. Sorry. Performance reviewed with the case stakeholder developed based on the business case. That is my first document. Mapping of planned benefits to the program components, KPIs, risk assessment, status or program progress indicator for each benefit. Very important from the eco. Anytime the stakeholder, the update of the status of your program will be displayed by using the updated benefit register. Target dates and who is responsible. And when we do to the benefits management plan, it defines a process for creating, maximizing, and sustaining the benefits, formally documents the activities necessary, how and when benefits are expected, and keep in mind this benefit management plan is very linked with the program roadmap, because roadmap is telling you about the program pacing and when you are going to deliver the benefits. So whenever you will update the benefits management plan, depending on any situation, you will update the program roadmap also. This is very important concept that will surely most probably will be in the exam. Okay, so just focus this thing. Plan will be affecting your roadmap in this case. Then under the program delivery phase, here we are talking about, and also important thing, this benefit management plan is at the every component level. Okay, so every component will have its own benefits management plan, how you are going to work and deliver the benefits for that particular component. Okay, this is also a very important thing from the exam point of view to have the overview of the question. Then I go to the benefits delivery. Every component will deliver its own benefits when certain benefit realization criteria will be achieved, or some minimum acceptable criteria are achieved, benefit realization criteria are achieved. Very important point is criteria. Criteria will be used when you are ready to deliver your benefits or make a changeover. Okay, means I am finishing, because once you will deliver your benefits, keep in mind then your component can be closed. Okay, so that's why when I am going to do something, I need to have a criteria in my mind. So when we look into the benefit delivery phase, it is worked on as per the benefits management plan, monitoring organizational environment, program objectives, and initiating, performing, transitioning, and closing the program components. Everything is done in the program benefit delivery phase, or more specifically in the program delivery phase. Evaluating opportunities and threats, KPIs, and recording the program progress. This is all done in the benefits delivery phase. Important thing to keep in mind, during this phase, when I will be delivering the benefits of every component, I have to make sure that all the benefits are strategically aligned and gives me the value. Very important. This is the important concept from governors also, and also during the whole life cycle. Whenever he will give you the indication that something is going against the strategic alignment, or you are doing something which is not giving you the value, you have to terminate the program. But whenever, even if you terminate the program, you have to follow the closure procedure that will be looking into that in the near very soon. But just keep in mind, all the benefit that you are working on, either at the program level or at the component level, must be strategically aligned with your objectives, and they should give me the value. Then we come to the benefit transition phase. The key word here is transition to operational areas. It means that every component will deliver the benefit, then it can go to the transition. And then I can do the transition one by one of every component. Note that once all the components are delivered, then only it will be transition. Okay. And the keyword to differentiate between sustainment and transition is the operational areas. Whenever we are transitioning to operations, it has to be in the benefit transition phase. And then you need to have the transition plans. Stakeholders should be identified who are ready to take over the things to whom you will be transitioning this. And also you have to make sure the receiving organization is prepared to receive whatever you are going to give to him. And there may be multiple transition events, because every component can deliver its benefits as per its own completion. Whenever the benefits is ready to be delivered, it will deliver the benefits. So in that case, everything will be delivered multiple in the multiple transition events. Then we will go to the benefit transition phase. Then in the benefit sustainment phase, very important, because you are crossing the program boundary. Only thing which is crossing the program boundary, whenever something is to be done in the benefit sustainment plan, all the plans and everything will be made within the program boundary, and it is also under the program closure phase. So that's why in the benefit sustainment, once we are crossing the things, if we have any resources or risk or information, whatever I will be having from my component, while I am going to sustain the benefits, I will transition all my resources, all my risk, and all my information to the organization. So this is also important that we are studying in the program closure phase. Okay, because as the boundary is crossed, all the risk, everything will be transitioned to the organization, and this all the information that you will be giving at the organization can be used to sustain the benefits. But program manager is not responsible to sustain the benefits. Whoever will be on the other side will be responsible to sustain the benefits. If any new program, a project is required to be initiated in order to respond to the operational issues you found out in the benefit sustainment phase, that is outside of your program boundary, and they have to be dealt directly at the organization level or at the operation level. Nothing to do with your program of anything that will be occurring in the area outside of your red boundary. Okay, and outstanding, this is also covering with chapter number 8. Whenever we will transition the risk, let me show you that thing so it's more clear to all of you. In the closure phase, what are the 5 activities I will be doing? Resource transition, risk management transition, and information archiving and transition. In this, I am resources related released to other organizational elements, risk input to other organizational risk register, and inputs to organizational archives, and lesson learned report to organizational governor body. So this transition is very important when we will be doing the benefit sustainment activities. This is your benefits management domain. So when you go in your sheet, you should write benefits management and write these 5 steps. Benefits identification equal to benefit register, benefit analysis and planning equal to BMP, benefits management plan, benefits delivery is equal to components. Okay, for benefit delivery, write the word components in bracket criteria. Okay, in the benefits transition, write the keyword to operations, and benefit sustainment, write the keyword program boundary is crossed, and resource risk, and this information archiving or transition. Okay, this in the benefit sustainment, you have to write this 7 to 8 words on your sheet, so it will be very easy to have the complete overview throughout your exam. Okay, this is how we are going to do the benefits management domain. Okay, if anyone has any question, please stop me, because I am going in a natural flow. Okay, but if somebody has any question, you can stop me anytime. Okay, then we come to the program stakeholder engagement. Here the first step is to identify the stakeholders. We are in the program management program boundary, so program manager is identifying the stakeholders by coordinating and communicating with all the people. Okay, so he will identify the stakeholders and he will make a stakeholder register. The stakeholder register will have complete characteristics of the every stakeholder, his name, role, position, influence, this communication requirements, how frequently he needs the information, how he needs the information. So whatever is the requirement, detailed characteristics of any of every stakeholder will be documented in the stakeholder register. Another important thing we saw the document was stakeholder matrix. That stakeholder matrix only contains the stakeholder with this and this role or the position. So if any question, if he asks you only about a document, that will give you the role, position, and the stakeholder of the stakeholder, that will be the stakeholder matrix. But if he asks you about any other characteristics of the stakeholder, any analysis, anything, that will be in the stakeholder register. Okay, and program manager is responsible to prepare this document and keep it updated throughout the program life cycle, because during the phase of my program, the new stakeholders will come, old will change. Okay, they can go out, their priorities can change, everything what is going on can be in the stakeholder, will be in the stakeholder register. So what we are going to do in the stakeholder register is the stakeholder register lists the stakeholders, categorizes their relationship to the program, ability to influence the outcome, degree of support for the program, other characteristics, and other important thing that contains sensitive information or political information. So it's not a public document, it should be appropriately secured. Program manager will control this piracy, whatever is important. Whereas benefit register and the stakeholder register that we have seen can be public document. There is nothing to be confidential in that thing. So stakeholder register is the only document that is there. Then we do go to the then we will do the stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder analysis will have two important techniques: power interest grid and the stakeholder map. For the power interest grid, only important thing to understand is the two-dimensional grid. Whenever you are identifying the two characteristics of the thing, it is in the stakeholder power interest grid. Okay, this question will come. But if you are asking about multiple characteristics of the stakeholder, we will use the stakeholder map, which means that we are going to see different characteristics of the my stakeholder. That is how you are doing the stakeholder analysis. But even after the stakeholder analysis, the output will be only be the stakeholder register, or more specifically updated stakeholder register. Then I will do stakeholder engagement planning. That will give me stakeholder engagement plan as output. That will guide me how I will be engaging my stakeholders and communicating with them throughout my program lifecycle. So if we look into the keywords of stakeholder engagement plan, once I will do the analysis, is prioritized list will be developed, and I will get power interest grid, and stakeholder map will be used to identify or visually represent the characteristics of all the stakeholders. In the stakeholder planning, organizational culture has to be checked, their acceptance of change, attitudes about the program and the sponsor, relevant phases applicable to stakeholder specific engagement, expectation of programs benefit delivery, degree of support, and ability to influence the program outcome. Everything is done in the planning phase. Then I will get the stakeholder engagement plan, which contains detailed strategy for effective stakeholder engagement, includes engagement guidelines, provides insight into how the stakeholders are engaged in various components of the program, defines metrics used to measure the performance of the stakeholder engagement, measures of participation, active or passive support, and program documentation is very important for this according to the stakeholder. Then with the stakeholder, then we go and throughout the program lifecycle, I have to keep the stakeholders engaged and stakeholder communicated to get their support, to get their buy-in. Okay, and also keep in mind how you will engage the stakeholders through different techniques here. In the stakeholder engagement is a continuous activity. They are facilitated negotiation sessions. All the interactions are logged, and whatever you communicate, coordinate with the stakeholders should be documented and can be shared with all the other stakeholders so everybody can benefit from them. In the stakeholder communication, information will be shared, strategy will be crafted, how you are going to communicate with them, and these questions should be open-ended questions if you need to get complete information from them, and decision-making stakeholders should be provided with proper and right information. Another thing that I want to discuss here is that who are the important stakeholders. That is number one, program manager. Keywords for program manager is responsibility. Okay, so whenever you go on this cheat sheet and the main sheet, you have to write program PM, write program is equal to responsible. He will be responsible to make sure everything is going fine on the program. He will be looking into, he will be monitoring the program, controlling the program with no power to change anything. So champion of change is program manager. That means that whenever he feels something is not going correct, he will raise a change request. Okay. Then other important stakeholder is a program sponsor. Program sponsor is champion of the program. He is accountable. So sponsor is equal to accountable to make sure that everything is provided. If we need the resources, I will go to the sponsor. He will arrange the resources for me. They will provide me the leadership, remove the barriers in my program. The decision making power is with the program steering committee. However, if steering committee is inoperative, non-functional, or not existing, or steering committee doesn't know what has to be done for the program, then we have to go to the sponsor to get the approval. And keep in mind, sponsor will always be available for the program as long as the program is operational or running. Why? If sponsor is gone, for example, if in many of the programs or project is sponsored, run away, what surely sure the program will be closed, right? Because when there is no funding, you cannot continue the program. So very important topic. Whenever we have some government projects or XYZ and the sponsor goes out, everything is finished. So that's the important point of view to understand. Sponsor will always be available during the program. If some stakeholder like steering committee, governance board, any other XYZ is not available, you can always go to the sponsor to get his approval. Okay, because ultimately he will make the final decision if others are not working. Another stakeholder is a project manager. Project manager will be come into play only in your program delivery phase. Every component will have its own project manager, and he is responsible to make sure the complete component goes through its complete own life cycle, starting from initiation, planning, monitoring and controlling, execution, and closing. So once the component or project will be closed, project manager will be gone. He can only escalate the issues to the program manager. Project manager will not go directly either to the program sponsor or to the program steering committee. Project manager, if he has any issues, any project related risk, he will try to handle by himself. But if it is not possible, he will escalate using escalation policies and procedures, and he can only go to the program manager. Whenever there is certain change in a project, in his project, that is going to be influencing other components also, then he will inform it to the program manager, and program manager is responsible to communicate and coordinate among all the other component managers. The project manager will only focus on his particular component. He knows only about this component, he doesn't know about any other component. Okay, so that is the role of the project manager. Keep in mind, whenever the questions come in which program manager and project manager is both the options, please read the question again one time. Okay, there is a high probability that he may be asking about only specific component. Okay, very important. If in case the project manager will also be the option in the answer, please read the question so that we don't get oversight with whether he's asking about the component responsibilities or the program responsibilities. And if in case he will be asking about specific component, then the project manager will be the correct answer. Another important stakeholder is program steering committee, which is also known as the program governance board. This is the entity that has the decision making power. It will make all the decisions. It will give you go, no go decisions. It will provide you the guidance in a way. Whenever these phases will be ready to be closed, you can any phase, whenever we will study in governance about phase gate reviews, everything to be done by the steering committee. In the options, you will see a lot of questions in which the steering committee will be the answer also in the option, and also it will be the correct answer. But only keep in mind, he can only confuse you between the program manager, program steering committee, and the program sponsor. Okay, that is the only trick that will be coming in your exam. And then in other scenario, there will be some we talk about the resource, about interdependency. This is also a very important topic for the exam, but just focus on the steering committee or the governance board are the same thing that has to be done with the decisions. Okay, then in the program governance actually means keeping the overview, monitor, and to see everything is going fine in your program. Then accordingly, in the governance practices, we will make the program governance plan that will identify me how I will control my program. Keep in mind, in this PgMP, the most important the option program governance plan will be the day whenever he will ask you that how you will control the quality, how you will make sure that program is remaining on track, how you will monitor the performance of the people, anything about something to evaluate something. The keyword is evaluation or monitoring. The answer will be the program governance plan. Why? Because program quality management plan is not existing in our PgMP from the exam point of view. Scope management plans, schedule management plans, all these plans we have that we made in chapter number 8. But overall, we have a program management plan. So when specifically whenever he will ask you about doing some monitoring, controlling, or overview things, program governance plan will be the correct answer. And who will be giving us the approvals whenever we are okay to go, that will be the program governance board or the steering committee. This everything is defined in the governance practices or governance plan. What is the power of the program manager, who has the authority to do what, till what he can be responsible and accountable, everything is defined by the governance. Then governance roles are the same stakeholders we have already discussed in detail, and governance design and implementation is done throughout the program life cycle. Once we go to the keywords of the governance we will have from top to bottom, portfolio to program to the projects. We have governance policies and practices, governance oversight and support, governance control, governance integration, and governance decision making things. Everything is done under the governance. And from bottom to up, once something is implemented, I will tell the performance reports. We can generate the change requests. We can escalate the issues and risks, and we can provide benefits and the products or service. Keep in mind, the output of the program is the benefits. Every time we're talking about the benefits, why we initiated the program was to get the benefits, and product or service is coming from the project level. Okay, any project initiative to get a unique product or service. So that is the only difference in project and program. Whenever we started the program was to get the benefits and the products or services from the project. As we discussed in the morning in our coaching class also, whenever he talks about outputs or outcomes, that is in the business case, that is not the benefits. Okay, specifically if he asks you about the benefit, correct answer will be the benefits management plan. But if he talks about general outputs, outcomes, how you can what you will achieve from this program, okay, that is also the meaning of justification. Or outcomes and objectives means it is aligned with your strategic alignment. So in that case, the only answer can be the program business case, which is a document that is interface between the organization and telling me what I have to get from my program as a broader picture. Okay, then we see into the effective program governance, we have to make sure that the goals remain aligned with strategic vision, operational capabilities, and resource commitments, approving, endorsing, initiating the program, and securing funding, establishing clear, well understood agreements, facilitating the engagement of program stakeholders. Then we will have the review types. The phase gate review or the stage gate review is done whenever we will make a closure of the phase or initiating of the new phase. Either it is in the program level or at the component level. This phase gate review, whether either we are going from program formulation phase to program definition phase, going from program definition phase to program delivery phase, going from delivery phase to the closure phase. Phase gate review will be done or stage gate review. Also, when I come to the component level, whenever this I have to deliver, start getting that, I will say the benefits are ready to be delivered for this component. I need to get the approval from the, I will perform a stage gate review and the phase gate review. And during in between the two periodic in between the phase gate reviews, I will be doing the periodic health checks. In the periodic health checks, I will only make sure that everything is going fine. I cannot make any decision. If the program manager will find out in the health check that something is not going fine, he will raise the change request, or he will escalate to the program steering committee, or he will call for the stage gate review, the phase gate review, and then the decision will be taken. But program manager is only responsible to do the health checks, monitor that thing, and he will not make any decisions. That is the most. So in governance chapter, on your cheat sheet on the first page, you have to write stage gate review. Stage gate review is equal to decision. Stage gate review is equal to decision, and other keyword you have to write periodic health check, which is equal to monitoring. So from the governance, that is enough if you write these two keywords. Okay, because a lot of questions are coming, will be coming from the stage gate review and the periodic health test topic. And from the stakeholder, you have to write the keyword of program manager equal to responsible, project manager is equal to component level thing, sponsor is equal to accountable, and steering committee or the governance board is equal to decision making authority. That is your cheat sheet. You got it? Everybody got it? What you have to write on the sheet? 5 performance domains,
Yes.
3 phases, components is equal to delivery. Then go to the strategic 3 document business case charter roadmap, benefits 5 steps, register and management plan, difference between the register and the plan. In the stakeholder register is equal to sensitive or confidential. Stakeholder engagement planning. Then in the governance, you have to write the keywords, phase gate review, health check, that, and in the stakeholder, you have to write program manager, project manager, steering committee, governance board, and program management office that I skipped. PMO, it will provide you the guidance, support, provide you templates, helps you in sharing the resources. Okay, PMO has no power, but he is always available to support you and give you the guidance. So that is your cheat sheet that you have to make when doing the tutorial is running on the computer. In your 10 minutes, you have to write everything, this thing in your one page. Then your 50% mind is relaxed. Okay, got it? So in this case, this you don't need to keep in your mind, just put on the table. Whenever the question comes, read the question, give the answer. If something is not going fine, read this, calm down, read this thing. You are confident that okay, something is coming from which domain, then we go into the detail, whether it's coming from this domain or this domain, whether he's talking about the phases. At least in every question, he will give you the indication either of the phases, that you are in the delivery phase, definition phase, or the closure phase, or he will give you the in which domain you are operating. Either of these things must be in the question, and then you can slowly and progressively go into the detail of that thing. Another important thing is that, okay, first we go to the program. In the program governance plan is phase gate reviews. In the quality governance, we are making at the component level, because very important to make sure that everything goes on fine. We have minimum QA/QC standards. Whenever the topic of quality is coming, we are focusing on minimum acceptable criteria. The change governance is defined by the steering committee, is responsible for defining the types of changes that a program manager would be independently authorized to approve. Then we do the program governance reviews, which is the phase gate review and the periodic health check we have seen in detail. Then program component initiation and transition. Whenever you have to initiate an individual component, close the component, transition the closure, it has to be approved from the program steering committee that we have already seen. Then when you go into the program closure phase, again steering committee reviews and make decisions on the recommendations for the closure of the program, and regardless of the closure of the cause, the closure procedures should be implemented, and the ultimately program final report is presented and approved by the governance committee. In the governance design implementation, we have to make sure legislative environment, decision making hierarchy aligned with the portfolio and organizational governance. Everything is aligned with my strategic objectives. Give us the contracting, and whenever you have high risk, strategic importance is high, or you are doing the contract, the governance will be more in that programs. This is how you are going to cover the program governance domain on your sheet. Okay, so then we look into the program lifecycle management as per the standard in my keywords. The program 5 interrelated domains, I will not repeat it, we have done. Portfolio and program restrictions, very also write this word, relatedness and time. Okay, so whenever any component has to be part of your program, it has to be relatedness and time bound. And the program and project restrictions are, programs are more certain, they have the high complex probability of introducing the change because of long tenure, and they are more complex because it has multiple components under it. Program management manager skills are communication skills, engagement, change, leadership, analytic integration. This is for every leader is the same skills that he must possess with himself. Then the program lifecycle activities executed within the program lifecycle are dependent on the specific type of the program, and typically before funding is approved, when the program is uh, assigned, and that during the program delivery phase, components are authorized, planned, and executed. In the program definition phase, I will not repeat it, it's the same what we have already known. In the formulation subphase, we are doing the assessments. In the program planning subphase, ultimately I will get the program management plan. From the question point of view, if he will ask you about the document that you will get at the end of the program planning subphase, then that is program any document that you will get at the end of the program definition phase, that is the program management plan. If we will talk to you about here, if at the end of the definition phase, the program management plan, at the end of the program formulation surface, charter, roadmap, and the business case, and only at the end of the program planning phase is the program management plan. Component authorization and planning, component oversight and integration, component transition and closure. This we know what we are going to do at every step. Only thing to mind, whenever the component will be the project, it will be replaced with your project lifecycle. Means project initiation, planning, execution, delivery, and monitoring and control. If that component will be the sub program, this lifecycle of these steps will be replaced with the component. This is a subsidiary program lifecycle. Again, the subsidiary program definition phase, delivery phase, and the closure phase. Then in the program closure phase, we are doing the activities, 5 activities that we will do. We will see in chapter number 8. Then we have program activities and integration management. Integration management is only in the eco, in which he is covering about the organization level and the operation level. Under the complete umbrella of the integration, your program is coming. You have to make sure that at the link from the organization level to the operation, everything is integrated well, and they support your complete organization. This is known as the integration management in the PgMP. Program activities means all the work that you will perform in the program is program activities, and we have 37 activities that we are doing in total in the whole program life cycle. And in the program infrastructure development, we are making PMO and PMIS. Okay, in the infrastructure development, it is performed to investigate, assess, and plan the support structure that will assist the program in achieving its goals, initiated in the program definition phase, and may be repeated at any time during the program lifecycle. It established both the management and technical resources, and program management core team is designated as part of establishing the program infrastructure. PMO is a core part of infrastructure. Very important question. In which how you will make the PMO, that is in the under the program infrastructure development. And PMIS, program management information system, consists of tools used to collect, integrate, and communicate information critical to the effective management of one or more organizational programs. That is in the program management information system, how you will collect and communicate your information throughout the program. In the program delivery management, we talk about the components. As we already known, delivery is equal to component. It includes the management, oversight, integration, and optimization of the program components that will deliver the capabilities and benefits required for organization to measure the value, management of interdependencies, change requests that fall within the program manager's authority level will be approved or rejected as the components reach the end of their respective life cycles or as planned milestones are achieved. Program manager collaborates with the customer or sponsor to present a request to close or transition the components. So this is what was in our last time question also. He has to collaborate with the customer or the sponsor to close the program. The process for component transition includes making updates to the roadmap, because whenever we will deliver or transition the components, the roadmap will be approved. And these will be reflecting both go and no-go decisions for my program. Program performance monitoring and controlling. It is the current health, which means the periodic monitoring and controlling means making the periodic health checks. And typical outputs of this activity include program performance reports and forecast. Performance reports will tell you that how these programs are performing and what is the first, second, next step that we are going to achieve in this step. Program performance reports, and there are two types of reports: program performance reports and the final program report. Just remember the key difference between the words. Whenever we're talking about the performance reports, includes a summary of the progress of all program components. Summary of the progress. We are not closing the program, but at every step of the program, I am making the performance reports. Describes whether the program's goals will be met. Provide current status information about what work has been accomplished, what work remains to be completed, earned value, and risks, issues, and changes under consideration. So here the keyword is current status information. Whenever he will ask you about the current status information, it will be through the program performance reports and not through the final program report. When he will ask you to close the program, then at the end you will have financial closing statements from the closure phase. When we have procurement, let me explain you here. In the closure phase, I have financial reports, closing statements, and close contracts and contract closeout report. This is in the closure phase. So these all the reports will be made in the program final report, not under the program performance report. In the program performance reports, you are only getting the summary of the progress, and it only tells you about the current status of your information, current status of your program. Clear? Very important differentiation between two types of the reports. Then we have forecasts. Enable the program manager and other key stakeholders to assess the likelihood of achieving planned outcomes and to provide predictions of the program's future state based on the current information and knowledge. When we have to forecast how your program will be developed, how we can achieve the program benefits, what is remaining based on your current status. So first you will get the current program performance report or the program performance report, and then you can add the forecast into that. Like a real example, we submit the weekly reports to our client, and also we attach the weekly forecast. What we have done this week, this is the performance report. What we will do in the next week is the forecast. And then we come to the program closeout phase. A program is either closed because the program charter is fulfilled, or external conditions arise that bring the program to an early end. So the program can be closed in because of two of the reasons. Successful completion of the program is judged against the approved business case, actual program outcomes, and the current goals and strategic objectives of the organization. All components should be completed, cancelled, and all contracts should be formally closed before the program itself is closed. So that is the same meaning that we are going to do in the chapter number 8 of the closure phase activities. All the closure phase has to be done, financial closure has to be done, and the procurement has to be closed. Only two things that we are closing there. Upon program completion, knowledge transfer is performed, which is information transition. Knowledge transfer also supplements benefit sustainment by providing the new supporting organization with any relevant documentation, training, or materials, which indirectly means information archiving and transition. Program resources are released as the program is being closed, which means resource transition, and reallocation or reassignment of team members and funding to other initiatives or other programs by the organization. So now everything is is making sense, right? Before we discuss each and every domain, now when we are combining in today's class, now you're getting the importance of those 37 activities, how they are linked to every stage of your or any phase of your program. Yes, Mr. Pradeep.
So I just want to know, like, I don't want to confuse anyone, but let's take an example of cost, okay?
Okay.
So cost has different activities in each phases: formulation phase, planning phase, delivery phase, and
Yes.
closing phase, right?
Right.
So do we have to differentiate what all activity we do in each phases, or that's not required to remember?
No, only you in that, for example, in the cost, you have to only remember in which phase I am doing initial cost estimation, where I am doing the cost estimation, where I am making the budget. That is the important point. Okay, like here in the, I will be doing initial cost estimates in the formulation phase. This only you should know. We are making the initial program budget in the planning phase, and I am controlling closing the components budget in the program delivery phase. In the closure phase, I am doing my financial closure. That's the only thing you have to remember, nothing else from chapter number 8. But at
Because
least
if you look at each and every activity in each phases, there are a lot of activities we
no,
do,
no,
right?
that is okay. That's what I'm saying about the keywords, the highlighted one that we will covering in the next 5 minutes. We have to only know in the cost. You cannot directly go and make the budget. That is the thing that he will confuse you in the exam. You can only make the budget once initial cost estimation is there. You cannot close your component closure unless your program budget is there. This linking at least we should know.
No, but let's take formulation phase. There
Okay.
are three activities, right, in the cost.
No, one activity. Planning you have three.
Yeah, sorry, in planning. So in that planning three activities, do we have to know what's the difference between all three activities?
No, 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 no. Only you have to
Oh,
know that we will establish the financial framework in the program, in the program planning surface. We will do financial management, make a financial management plan in the planning surface. This is only what you have to know. There is no difference between all these three activities that you are doing in the planning surface. You are making the budget, you are making financial framework, you are making financial management plan. That's enough.
okay. Because if you go down, like in the delivery phase
Yes.
or in the planning phase, you formulated a lot of outputs, right?
Yes, I covered it because this is in the standard. I cannot ignore this in whatever is in the standard, but I'm talking about the key thing that we have to remember. Like for example, contract payments. This is the moment in which you are doing the payments. So conceptually, you should know that I will make the payment in the delivery phase, because that is the only phase in which I am executing some work.
Okay. Okay.
Closed component budgets. This makes sense. Why? Because the component will be closed in my program delivery phase. Program budget baseline updates. So any I make the budget baseline in the planning phase. So in the delivery phase, it can be updated. Nothing to remember. Only to know that I can update it here. Approved change requests is generalized thing from the change plus the cost. Nothing to remember specifically for the cost, because you will have the approved change request in the program delivery phase. The general understanding. Then revised estimate at completion. This is important. Why? Because now I am making the forecast. I have my performance report at this moment. I have achieved, for example, I have done this is my earned value at this moment. Okay, I'm not going to confuse earned with that specific number. I'm just giving the example. We are in the I'm doing the work actually. I have the program performance report. This is my current status and how much I need to spend more. So I will make the estimated completion also here for the management. This is also equivalent to forecast that we are just discussing now. Then program management plan updates. It will be in every step of
Everything.
the in the delivery. I will update the plans and corrective actions will be done if there is a change request. So I put everything in this table because I don't want to skip anything what is in the course. But how you have to remember from the exam point of view is how we are why we are having this coaching calls and telling you how you have to remember these things. Is
Okay.
it clear now?
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Then resources then we come to the final program report. It will have financial and performance assessments, lesson learned, successes and failures, identified areas for improvement, risk management outcomes, unforeseen risk, customer sign off, reason for closeout, history of all baselines, archive plan for the program documentation, and then you will have financial closure statements. You have procurement closure close contract statements. This is in the final program report. Only remember what is the difference between the performance report and the final program report. Whatever is done in the final, yes.
See, actually, I face one question mark. The financial framework.
Huh?
Can you clarify what is the meaning of financial framework? Because the
Okay.
question is asking you require fund from early stage
Hmm.
to till the completion of the project, completion of the program. That
Yes.
means the fund is required from early stage of the program till
Okay.
completion of the program. In
Hmm.
this stage, what you develop, like that, there is one question. In
Okay.
that, the answer showing financial framework to establish the financial framework.
Okay. Let me explain. When we are talking about the financial framework means complete step. What is a framework? Procedures, policies, templates, plans I am going to do uh, for my program. Financial management plan will tell you how I will manage the cost. So from understanding point of view, framework is above the management plan. Like I will give you the high level roadmap or high level cost overview. That will be in the financial framework, or the how I can like the IMF give us a framework. This is the thing. Step one, step two, step three, step four. This is how you will be doing the financial framework. But if you have to differentiate between a financial management plan, it will ask you how you will spend the cost on your projects, or at which instances you will release the payments to your suppliers. That is in the financial management plan.
So financial management framework is a superset of financial management plan, right?
For exam point of view, keep this in mind. For
Yeah.
exam point of view. Anyone else can contribute in this? Maya, if you have a better explanation. Or Mr. Azim, you are
Well,
muting.
financial management plan is more detailed as
And what?
compared to financial framework. Financial framework is just like a structure, like a
Structure, yeah.
pictorial, yeah, structure.
A tutorial, a structure wherein you can just define the sets of practices or structure, and then a program financial management plan will include all the cost estimates and when and where to
Make the
the
payments.
procedures to close the uh, cost related
And
activities.
I think there is one keyword, environment. Whenever there is environment word, the answer is financial framework.
Right.
No,
So,
my question is when it is
so
required, when the exact requirement of financial framework, in which stage it is required, and what is the significance of financial framework?
It is used to make financial management plan. It is a prerequisite of financial management
yeah.
plan.
It is a
Without a
prerequisite of.
framework, it's like it's a set of document or set of procedures. For example, if you have one program, then there will be a framework. And for that particular framework, you can just strictly need to uh, avoid or like you need to follow that particular procedures and then create a financial management plan.
So, what a financial management plan will tell you detailed steps what you are going to do in your program regarding the cost, how you will spend the money, when you will release the money. But the framework is telling you the boundaries, what is your structure, how your financial management plan will be developed, or how your structure will be developed, right?
Just like example, like which currency you will deal with, let's say US dollar or sterlings. So these
Yes,
things are
it
in
can.
financial framework, like the environment, the mode of, like you may say the currency used, let's say, for example.
This is a framework,
It can be. It
maybe.
can be one of the criteria.
And how you will be giving the your for example, we take one of the one program is of $100. Okay, so whether we will use the onshore thing or the offshore thing, like if, for example, how much is we are paying in dollars, how much we are paying in dirham, that will be defined in the framework. And if I come to the financial management plan, what will be the delivery, the distribution of the money, breakdown of $100, that in the beginning phase I get 5% payment, in the execution I get 20% payment, in the commissioning phase I get 10% payment. This is coming from the framework, right?
So
Okay.
That is coming in the, sorry, that is coming in the financial
Plan.
management plan. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. At the end,
Correct.
when I say 5% payment, 10% payment, 20% payment, this is the financial management plan when you will release the payments to your sub suppliers. Clear?
so my understanding was the source of fund, like if it's internally funded or customer funded, so that
It can
will
be both. Program can be
define
funded.
In the framework.
framework is what I'm
Yes,
trying to
like Mr. Zim said, whether USD or Euro, for example, this is also same like you are saying about whether it is coming from which source. This is getting the high level information. That is a framework,
because if it's customer funded, there is a lot of vigilance, and
right?
if it is
So,
internally run NPIs, we can take
or
some leeway.
or
Yeah,
I can say that depending on your financial framework, the governance will be defined. If it is
yeah,
like in the governance topic, we have this governance design and implementation, in which we studied about legislative environment and uh, I think that this will make sense now. Contracting. If there is a legal agreement, if the program funding structure, when funding is secured from outside the delivery organization, better governance skills are needed. So actually, this is
yes.
a framework sort of a thing.
Mm.
Clear, Jayaprakash?
Yeah, clear.
Perfect. So we have performance reports. We have financial final program reports at this moment.
Yeah, I have
Now,
one more doubt, Mr.
yes.
The, the CBI is zero point 0.8 and SBI is 1.2. So
Mhm.
CBI zero point 0.8 means it is under budget or over budget?
Over budget
Over budget. Both should be over one
to be
for
good.
good project.
Okay. SBI 1.2 is ahead of schedule. CBI zero point 0.8 means over budget. Okay.
Yes, yes. So
So
this is
over.
yes. So this is the opposite of English meaning. Above
Okay.
SBI greater than one means ahead of schedule. We are earlier, and
Okay.
CPI greater than one means under the budget means we are making it cheaper than what is actually forecasted.
No, it means CBI zero point 0.8 means over budget, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you explain technically what is the meaning of over budget?
Means the plan was to spend $100 to make this product, but I am using $120 to make it. This is over budget.
No, no, no. CBA point it means over budget. It means my budgeted value is $100,
Yes,
but at the end I spend $120.
yes,
This is over budget, right?
yes, yes. 100 divided by 120.
So it is over budget. Okay, $120
You have
over
spent
budget.
more than your budget.
Yes,
It means we spend more than we budgeted, right?
yes.
We spend more than we budgeted. Okay. Another case, CBA is 1.2
Hmm.
and SBI also 1.2.
So
Now,
CPI
this
1.2 means your budget was 100, but
Under but
you made it in $80.
So it's good.
is under. So $80. Under budget means we spent less.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
yes,
Um, than the expected. Huh?
yes.
Okay.
Then the budgeted, then the planned.
So in this case only we are recommending for the opportunity. It means CBA
Yes,
1.2 means we have surplus of money in our hand, right?
yes, yes,
In this case only we are recommend for the opportunity.
yes.
Okay, okay.
Because sponsor provided me the money, $100 to make this product. I was efficient. I finished this product what was required in $80. So $20 are remaining. It means CPI
Uh,
is greater than 1. Then I will go to the sponsor to give him the opportunity. You can ask something more to make in this $20.
okay, right. It. Okay,
Okay.
clear. Whenever CBA 1.2, we can recommend for opportunity for the
Yes,
additional product.
yes, yes. Good.
Clear.
So
Okay.
coming to the program activities, we have 37 activities. So I will cover this from this table that we have developed. Then today I made one more summarized sheet. I will be sharing with you people because still it is in working, but I try to summarize everything here. Okay. The
I have
performance.
one quick question before
Yes.
we move on.
Yes.
So let's say there is a question where the service level agreements are made, which phase
Mhm.
can they go such detail and ask such questions?
No. The
Any in
yes, Ajit.
SLA
SLA and
Yeah.
quality.
Quality
quality.
No, which phase
planning.
Planning phase.
and where the program WBS is made. So such intricate question will be coming or no?
No, in chapter in these are the basic questions. Why? Because in WBS, master schedule, budget, and the financial framework and SLAs. This is what you are doing in the planning phase. This surely will come. This is not so intrinsic. These are the simple questions.
No, no, no. I'm just trying to figure out whether do we need to know all these processes and documents.
No, you don't need to go into the details what is inside WPS. This will not be asked in the question. Okay, but the linking between in which phase you are making this document, they should need to know. So in summary, whatever is written in this summarized tables, this you should know, because he will make the questions out of this phenomena. But he will not ask you what is inside WPS or what is inside the master schedule, what is inside the budget. This he will not go in so much detail.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now I have developed this summarize of chapter number 8. Okay, I will just go through it. The strategic alignment benefits, this we have covered. Okay, this is my magic rate program activities. Okay, I will not ask you to make because we just revise it and later you have to make these tables again as I told you in my normal classes. Nasir sir, are you with us? I cannot hear you anything today. Are you getting it or is going over the so high?
No, sir, I'm with you and I'm getting, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so programmed activities. We made this 37 activities magic grid. So whenever you go to the table, you go to your exam day, please make this table on your cheat sheet. Just write the scope, schedule, cost, quality, communication, resources, risk, procurement, change information. In the book, this knowledge areas is not written explicitly like the knowledge area, but I made this thing to make you sure that we know in which knowledge area we are operating. Okay, he just given daily 37 activities. Okay, in the program definition formulation phase, we are making 10 assessments, and 10 and 2 estimations. If I go to the detail of this table, in the scope assessment, the outputs what we will get is the name of the activity itself. So whenever he asks you about anything about estimation or assessment, it means you are doing the program foundation surface. This type of question he will ask you in the question in the exam. Okay, that you are doing program scope assessment or schedule assessment, initial cost estimate, quality assessment, in which phase you are operating in, or what is being done now. So you are in the program foundation surface, this you should know. Or which of the following activity will be done in the program formulation surface: scope assessment, scope management planning, scope monitoring and controlling. So there should be scope assessment. This type of question will come. Okay, and then we should know this key observation that I wrote here: business case is not affected by scope assessment and communication assessment. Now when we saw the keywords of the charter, now it makes sense, right? Because business case is not affected by the scope, so in the scope assessment, input to the business case is not coming here, only the charter is coming here. So business case I have written in all my 8 knowledge areas except in the communication management, in the communication phase. Then program charter is not affected by communication assessment. So charter will be affected by all the assessments other than the communication assessment. So I have written charter in all this knowledge area except in the communication. Then roadmap is affected by schedule and communication. We saw also that whenever there is a change in the benefits management plan, whenever there is a change in the schedule, your roadmap will be changed. So it also proves here schedule assessment will affect your roadmap. Then initial cost estimate is affected by the schedule assessment and the initial risk assessment. And at the end, in the communication assessment, only we have stakeholder engagement plan. It will affect and the program communication management planning. And the last thing to understand here is that all the subsequent management planning activities will be affected by its own assessments. So all the schedule management planning will be affected by schedule assessment. This you should know. Okay, how we are operating from top to down and from left to right. Whenever we are doing in the planning surface, it means formulation surface activities are available with me. Whenever I will go to the delivery phase activities, whatever I made in the program definition phase will be available with me. Clear? There is a this level of information this we must have. Okay, so this is the table how we made the magic grid of the program formulation surface activities. Clear to everyone? You had the question, Pradeep, about this thing, but this is the different headings. Okay, so whenever we are going to the formulation surface, this is activity, outputs, and input. Okay, that's the only thing. And then when we go to the program planning surface, we have 12 activities going on here, which are management planning, making the financial framework establishment, and financial management and cost estimation. What I go to the detail of this thing, what are the outputs I am getting in the planning surface? In the scope management planning, I will get scope management plan, program scope statement, and program work breakdown structure. So this you were asking, Mr. Pradeep, program scope statement. Scope statement is coming in the management planning, in the planning surface.
Correct, correct, correct.
Assessment was in the formulation, and
Mm-hmm.
statements are in the planning surface. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the scope, I have WBS, scope management plan, and scope statement. In the schedule management planning, I get program schedule management plan and the program master schedule. In the cost, these cost activities are common. We will do cost estimation, financial framework, we will make, a financial management planning we will make. We don't need to differentiate between these 3 activities in the planning surface because all are in the planning surface. All what we need to know is we will get program cost estimates in the planning surface. I will get cost estimate assumptions and component cost estimation guidelines. So whenever he's talking about the component level cost estimation, it is also done at the program planning surface. This we should know. The financial framework, what we have discussed, we will get in the program planning surface. Then business case will be updated, updates to the program communication plan, and updates to the program stakeholder engagement plan. So this is very unlikely that you will get in which phase you will update the program business case, because at every phase you can update the business case, right? Mr. Preet, right? You got my point? So we don't need to focus in so much detail about business case, communication stakeholder, because a lot of plans can be updated during the whole life cycle. So the more intrinsic point that we should remember is this financial framework, cost estimate, and these things. Okay. Then in the cost, I will get the program financial management plan, initial program budget, funding schedules, contract payment schedule, like we discussed in response to Jay Prakash question that what is the meaning of planning, when we are going to deliver the payment to the sub suppliers, program operational cost, then input to the risk register and the financial metrics. All we are doing in the planning surface. So this is all type of the cost we are doing in the planning surface. This is the activities what we are doing in the planning surface regarding the cost. Then in the quality management planning, at this moment in the planning phase, before going to the delivery phase, I should know what is the quality policy, what are the quality standards I have to follow, what are the quality estimates of cost, what are the service level agreements, quality metrics, quality checklist, and QAQC specification. This all information regarding the quality I must have in the program planning surface. This I don't need to make in the formulation surface. Okay, this differentiation we should know. In the quality, I'm only doing the quality assessments there. I don't have anything about standards, policies, what I will follow. That will come in the planning surface. This I should know in the exam. Okay. In the communication management planning, I am making the program communication management plan, communication requirements input to the stakeholder register. So whatever the communicate how which stakeholder will need what type of information, how it should be communicated will also be input to the stakeholder register. That we have already seen what are the detailed parameters of the stakeholder register. It has all the characteristics and information communication requirements when and how for all the stakeholders. That's why this communication management planning input is going to the stakeholder register that we made in the stakeholder engagement domain. In the resource management planning, I will get program resource management plan and program resource requirements. So this is important where you will get the where you will identify the requirements of resources in your program. Okay, that is in the planning surface. It's not in the formulation surface. It's not part of the assessment. And also remember, for the exam point of view, don't get confused with the makeup terms. If it is not assume that resource requirements means as assessments. I'm just giving you the idea overview, because if we go to the English point of view, requirements, what I need can be the assessment also. But for the exam point of view, be very specific on the words that he is using. If he wants to be program formulation surface, he will give you the assessment keyword. He cannot give the requirement. If he asks you about the program resource requirements, you have to go in the planning surface. You cannot go in the formulation surface. Okay, don't get confused with these synonyms or the fancy word or the catch-up words. In the procurement, I should have program procurement management plan, procurement standards, and budget financial plan updates. So everything about the procurement, how I will do the procurement, what will be the standards I have to follow, is done in the made in the program planning surface. Then in the change, I have program change management plan and change thresholds, which will identify me when some trigger has to be done, when the change is mandatory to be implemented in my program. So this is all defined in the change management planning phase. So he will ask you about the change thresholds. Okay, so these change thresholds are defined in the planning surface, not in the formulation surface. And for the information I will get program information management plan. I will make in the planning surface, and I will get information management tools and techniques that I will be using during my program delivery phase. So everything is defined in the program planning surface, in which I am getting these 12 activities. Clear? Okay, then we come to the program delivery phase. In the program delivery phase, we are doing monitoring and controlling and the management things. So this we should know in the scope monitoring and controlling. What I am getting is updated scope statement, disposition of requests with document of rationale for the decision, updates to the plan, updates to the work breakdown structure. So principally whatever we made in the planning surface can be updated in the program delivery phase. This is what I have written here. Then in the schedule management plan, I will update the updates to the master schedule, updates to the risk register, and updates to the program roadmap. This we know whenever the roadmap is changed, schedule will be changed, and whenever the schedule will be changed, the roadmap will be updated. This is what we are doing in the delivery phase. Now you come to the cost. Now this is important. In the delivery phase, we are doing contract payments. Now I'm actually paying to my customers, to my suppliers. I am making the payments here. Contract payments are done in the delivery phase. Closed component budgets, because the components will be closed, so budgets will be closed here for the component. Program budget baseline update. So based the passage of time, I made the budget in the planning phase. Here I will update it. Approve change requests, revise estimate at completion, Like Jayaprakash said that in the beginning of the program, my CPI is less is 0.8. So here I can estimate the completion. What will be my cost that I will be achieving at the end of the day? I can finish my program in at $90, not $100. So in the delivery phase, I am making estimates at completion. Program management plans, update and the corrective actions if I find something is going behind. For example, if CPI will be greater than 1, I come to know in the program delivery phase. So I need to make some corrective actions to make sure that I complete the program as within my budget as early as possible. So during the delivery phase, whenever you will be going through the execution tasks, the change requests will be required to be done or the corrective actions are required to be done. Okay, this we are everything we are done in doing in the program delivery phase. Then program cross budgeting. I just added few more things from the standard here. Outputs will be update to program budget baseline, program payment schedules and component payment schedules. This is what we are doing in the budgeting phase. And component cost estimation will give me component cost estimates because everything what is at the component level is done here. So I will be doing customer cost, component cost estimates and also the closing of the component budget based component budget in the my program delivery phase. Then we have quality assurance and quality control. Controlling quality assurance will give me quality assurance audit findings and quality assurance change requests. Same in the quality control, I will get quality change requests, quality control completed checklists, inspection reports, and quality test reports or measurement results. So whatever I did in the quality will be shown in the program QA QC activities. So it's a very important question about the audits. So audit findings, or you will do the audit everything in the program delivery phase. Secondly, whenever you will get the inspection reports, whatever the reports I am getting are in the delivery phase because reports will only be made once I do something. So this is the phase in which I am actually executing the tasks. So here I will get the test reports, inspection reports, and all the checklists. Then once I am managing the communication, I need to tell status information, notification of change requests, program financial reports, media interviews, external filings. Like we saw there, we need to have program progress reports, right? So this communication management, in this thing, you will be communicating your reports to your stakeholders. This is the best example of communication management. Information distribution methods can either be face-to-face meetings, electronic communication, or the social media, and program reporting reports required by the program agreements, including formats and agreements, customer feedback requests, and periodic reports and presentations. So whatever we saw the keywords of the program reporting will be managed under the communication topic. And this all we are doing in the program delivery phase, in which we are actually making the reports, actually giving the feedback to my client, to my program steering committee, what is the actual status of my program. Then I do the resource management, program resource prioritization decision based on which component needs which resource I will be doing in the resource management in the delivery phase. Update to the resource management plan, and the most important is the program interdependency management. Sure, the question will be there regarding the interdependence management, and here I will update my program resource management plan because if I have to actually manage the resources, how with among my components, I will to update the resource management plan. So, and everything about the interdependency resource management is done in the delivery phase. Then in the risk monitoring and controlling, I am doing risk identification where I will get output at the program risk register. Then I will do program risk analysis where I will have proposed risk responses, updates to program risk register, periodic risk reports showing the threats and opportunities trends, and program risk management, program risk response management, like that, which is the risk, making the risk response management plan. Here I will get directions to implement the risk responses, risk register updates, contingency reserve and the management reserve and change requests. So this is important, contingency reserve and the management reserve. This you have to make in the program delivery phase. This I will get in the program delivery phase because this is done once secondary risks are depending. I'm not going to the detail of the risk topic here because this is complete RMP. Okay, but at this moment only remember that this reserves, management reserves are the budgets that I need to use when my unforeseen risks will come. Okay, but everything in the program delivery phase. Then once I will do the procurement management, I will actually do, I will ask for the request for quotation, request for proposal and invitation to bids. After this, I will do proposal evaluation criteria. I should have that which supplier or which supplier I will select based on all the quotations I have received Then I will have agreement, administration plan, and signed agreements. So this signed agreements is about the contracts. So about the contracts, it is done in the program delivery phase when I will actually sign the contracts with my suppliers. Just Jay Prakash.
In the procurement process, what is the first step, whether RFP or RFQ?
He will not ask you this question, but in the practical life, RFQ is the first thing. RFQ only means, or in the
Actually,
in the actual
RFQ,
contract, this is we get letter of interest. That is the first thing in the real life, in the real project. First, we get letter of interest from the suppliers who are willing to bid. Then request for proposal means technical method statement also, how you will execute the tasks. So it doesn't matter which sequence you are following, but request for proposal actually means how you are going to do something also in the like a technical method statement.
yeah, actually, in the mock test, I faced one example. Actually, the seller list is
Uh-huh.
finalized. What is the
Okay.
first step you have to do? So it state RFP. It means request for proposal. Like that, the answer showing. That is
RFQ
the
was
reason
Yeah,
only.
that is correct. So RFQ means you are asking vendors to quote.
okay.
Price. And
That is
I
the
mean,
second
you
step.
are telling what is your problem, and they will, in response to that, they will send the proposal.
Okay, so in the real life, the first sequence is RFP, then RFQ, or first is IFB, first is
No, no,
invitation
no,
to
no.
bid.
First is RFQ. So
Okay.
you are sending your requirement to customer
Mm.
and custom or vendor or supplier,
Uh,
and then they are sending a proposal, what they can do and what is the cost and schedule.
but there is
So
no
that
hard
is
and fast route. So, Jayapaka, please send me that mock question, then we will extend on the group, then we will discuss. Okay, but don't get confused with so much details. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then signed agreements will be done in the procurement management. And other thing is that we need to have program contract administration. Output will be performance, earned value reports. Earned value reports means in which we will doing the CPI and SPI actually with for my suppliers. This is the contract. He has to finish in 1 month. As of now, what is the progress? So continuously I will be getting the manufacturing reports, progress reports from my suppliers also. Ongoing progress reports, vendor contractor performance reports, any type of the reports from the suppliers with whom I have made the agreements will be made in the procurement management delivery phase. Then in the change step, I am getting approved change request. Very, very important. At any phase of your program, you can generate a change request. There is no limit on that. Okay. And anybody can make the change request. Program manager, sponsored, supplier, any stakeholder can make the change request. Okay. You cannot stop him not to make the change request. One thing. Second thing, only the approved change request is the one that will impact my program or that will affect something or that will update my plans or something like that. So in the change topic under the program delivery phase, I am getting the approved change request. So whatever will be the approved change request, then subsequently I will incorporate them into my program. Clear? Very important from exam point of view. Just focus, Maya, clear? Just focus on approved change request. When we will ask you to change something. Before that, whatever you are doing is only verbal. Making a change request, asking for something. But once something has been approved and changed, then it means it is mandatory to be incorporated in your program. And subsequently something will be get changed. Okay, that's the important thing. Then in information, we do update to information program, information repository, and inputs to the program database. And then we will get the lessons learned database. The output is lesson learned reports, input to the program stakeholder register and risk register updates, program communication management plan updates, and program management plan updates. So this program management plan will be updated throughout the program delivery phase. This you have to keep in mind, and all the plans will be updated. But the key point is that we will have the lesson learned database, in which I am going to actually uh, do everything, right? And in the last, we come to the program closure phase activities. Here we have doing only 5 activities. In the cost, I will do the financial closure. And what will be the output I will get? Input to the program financial report. Now we have a detailed idea about the final program report. So this financial report will go as an input to the final program report. Clear? This I am linking what we studied just now before with the performance report and the final program report. So this will go in the final program report. Updates to the program, financial management plan. Jayaprakash, you see here in the closure phase, I am not updating the program framework, financial framework. I am only updating the program financial management plan, which I will say that how actually at which moment I actually delivered my payments. So financial management plan is updated in the closure phase. Input into the knowledge repository, financial closing statements, documentation of new tools and techniques used in the course of the program and into the knowledge management system, and closed program budget. Most important, you will close your program budget under your program closure phase, and you will close your component budget in the program delivery phase. Clear? Very important differentiation for the exam point of view. My program budget will be closed in the program closure phase, and component budgets will be closed in the program delivery phase. Then we have resource transition. We have in which we will resource release to other organizational elements. Once we are crossing the red boundary, all the resources will be released from my program to the organization elements. Risk management transition, inputs to the organizational risk register. So whatever be the open risk or any risk register will be, program risk register will be transferred to the organizational risk register. And in the procurement, I will do the closure, in which I have contract closeout reports, update to the lessons learned, and closed contracts. So here I will be asked to close all the contracts. So he will ask you that in which phase of the program you will close your contracts. It will be in the program closure phase. And in the information, we will be archiving and transition, which is inputs to organizational archives and lesson learned report to organizational governor body. So whatever will be the information, data, lesson learned available with me from my program, I will transfer to the organizational archives. And the very important topic in the last is that whenever he will ask whether the program comes to the early closure or the program is terminated, in that case also we have to follow these 5 closure procedure activities. Okay, you cannot just close the program without doing anything. So these 5 activities of financial closure, resource transition, risk management transition, procurement closure, and information archiving and transition has to be done at every step of the program whenever we are going to close it. And for understanding point of view, for the exam point of view, whenever you will be closing any component within your program, also you have to follow this procedure. That was the reason we got the financial component closure, component budget closure in my program delivery phase. So it means that these phases are also going to that. So this covers your, I've tried to summarize all the keywords and important concepts in this coaching class. It's very helpful for the real exam, also for the mocks. In addition to that, only revise the highlighted keywords of the eco. These are very important, but I just gave some indication here. I will not go to the detail of eco in this coaching call because that is very specific. But in my master sheet, these highlighted keywords are also written at the end, so you can go through it. And those students who have not gotten this sheet, they can get us contact, and we can also send you this master sheets directly, other than if you're not attending our batch class also. Okay, so
So
any
what
question,
tables you
any
shown
question till now?
before? Is
Sorry,
this a new
Jayaprakash,
template?
which one?
The what you are showing the master sheet we already received. But
This one,
before you shown
this one,
this is this a
this,
new one?
yes, this I made today, so I will share with you.
Oh,
So
okay.
is it clear? Is it clear how to read it, Jayaprakash, Mr. Azim, Nasir, Amaya? So this is
Yes.
actually a gift for Amaya. So I
Yes, sir, it's
worked this
clear.
way to finalize it. So I try to cover this. And if you find any typo mistakes, please let me know. Then I can upload. But I will share with you this document. Clear to everyone? Any question? Any comment?
No, clear.
Yeah, okay.
No, I think I like this sheet. It gives overall picture and
Okay.
where to go and what to look for. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for attending this class. And anyone else who wants to get this master sheets, you can contact us directly, and we will be getting you. And you can also buy on Amazon directly. The other students who are not in our batch students or one-to-one students, and we can be in contact with them. So thank you very
So
much
I'm
for this
one
class.
or two. Can I share?
Yes,
Small doubt. Can I share that one?
yes, yes.
Yeah, this one is 08.
Now you can share.
Okay, I'm sharing now. Okay, now share screen.
So we will be discussing
Yes.
some question from our student. Let's see what is the unclear topic.
Are you able to see now?
Yes. A
This
new ERP system is being delivered by the organization in all its branches. But the CTO of the company requests an independent auditor to validate the compliance of the system with the new regulations. Additional work is not part of the existing roadmap. What should be your action as a program manager to this request? Okay, so what do you feel?
actually, I feel D, analyze and assess the impact of the audit and potential remediation of the program.
Why? Okay, you cannot go to the potential remediation because first you have to audit, first you have to do the assessment. So analyze and assess the impact of the audit before doing any
B.
action. That is your first step.
Okay, okay.
D is giving
But
you two steps. D is giving you
yeah,
access and analyze the impact of the audit is same, but and the potential remediation. You have already assumed that you will need to do something. So and the B is stopping you to do some action unless you do the analysis and as an assessment. Maybe you will do the and you already do the remediation and actually it is not required. You cannot go to the D before B.
but there is a slight difference, right? Analyze and assess the impact added before doing any action.
Yes.
Oh, right. But here also, I am analyzing and assess the
Hmm.
impact of the audit
Yes.
and the potential. Oh, it means the same time we are doing the action.
Yes.
That is the reason.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. Next question is 170. One
Okay.
minute. 170.
Go to page 176.
76.
176. If your question is 170, it will be 176. Okay, one page 175. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
You
You
as a
see,
program manager of program A in your organization as a consequence of a program's potential need to adapt to the outcomes and outputs of its components and its potential need to modify a strategy plan. How may the program components be pursued? In an iterative, sequential manner,
Non-sequential manner.
iterative, non-sequential manner, so non-iterative is eliminated. B and D are eliminated, right? Agree?
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
B and D are
Iterative non-sequential manner.
yes, because you don't need to go step by step with the components. Iterative means you have to come back. Sequential means you are making a condition that unless A is done, you cannot start with B. Unless B is not done, you cannot start with D. This is not a sequence matter. Even in your real program, your components are overlapping with each other. So sequential means finish all will have start to finish link. Then only it's a sequential matter. But when I am in the program delivery phase, there is no condition how each component will behave with other component, right? It is iterative, yes, but non-sequential. Not need to be in the
Yeah,
sequence order.
because the program may started in different time. It means it may overlap. That is the
Yes,
meaning of non-sequential manner.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sequence means link step by step. It's not possible. It's non-sequential.
Okay. 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 I'll go for 224. 224 means what's the number?
229.
229.
Okay.
Okay.
You are the
It's
you are
already
the you are the
yeah, it
program.
is
Yes,
already
yes. This already discussed.
and 04
9.
04
Zero.
This is also same. CPI is
Over budget and ahead of
0.98. It means over budget and ahead of schedule. B.
Okay, clear. Okay, okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for attending the class. Wish you good luck for the coming week and we stay in contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.